Okay, so in Albion, you start by creating your character, and your character is someone who's just recently arrived in the continent of Albion from the old world. So he's basically a fortune hunter looking for to start a new life on a new world. Um, and let me just complete creating a character here, which I could have customized. We're gonna go with the preset, and now we're gonna go enter the world of Albion. So when we start the game, we're gonna be right at the dock where the ship basically dropped us off. There's no entry here yet, this is still coming, but we've just arrived and we are pretty much naked, we have nothing, and this is part of the story of Albion. Albion's all about players finding out how to exploit the world, how to live off the world, and therefore we can start here by collecting some resources. Basically everything we see here in the world of Albion is something I can pick up and turn into something later, as you'll see in a moment. So
everything's with a touch interface now on the.
Yeah, so I can control this. This is the very same version that you would also be playing on the PC. Except I'm controlling it through the touch interface. It's all one click, right? I can pretty much do everything here that I can do on the PC, just by tapping it. So I'm collecting these stones to start crafting my first gear, because Albion's all about turning resources from the natural world into items and trading those with other players and using them in context or in contest with other players. So first thing I'm doing here is craft a skinning knife from the rocks and the wood that I've found. And with that skinning knife, I can start collecting some rabbit hides. With that, I'll make my first armor, and that will set us up to venture further into the world of Albion, which, you know, can be a little bit dangerous. So the cool thing here is that whenever I have time, a short moment to play like this, I can play on my mobile device. And when I want to sit down for a longer session, I can switch to my PC or Mac or even Linux if I want to.
So it's totally seamless when you switch between.
Yeah, so I could just log out and log in on the PC again. It's completely the same experience. I have the same item, same character. I can trade with characters from other platforms. This is completely the same game. Everyone's playing in the same world, no matter where you play Albion.
So is this only going to be on tablets, or is it also going to be on phones and stuff like that?
So we don't officially support phones. While the game will run, we will not optimize the interface for phones. So if you have a particularly large phone, you may have a good experience, but if your phone screen is too small, it may just not be.
I guess, is it going to be a universal app on the App Store, or is it going to be iPad only?
Are we going to be iPad only? Okay, yes. So the app will be only iPad only. Yeah, let me just finish crafting some more stuff here, and then we can go and see our first starting town. Yeah.
So deeper into the game, you get involved in like all sorts of PvP stuff, and there's.
Yeah, so Albion's quite a huge game. I mean, here at the very beginning, what we're seeing is the basics of crafting items in Albion, and I've just completed crafting my first armor and some boots. I haven't even made a weapon yet, but we're gonna leave the starting zone now to see what lies ahead. But generally, as you progress in Albion, you get into more dangerous parts of the world, and that's where you'll start to compete with resources, with players over the resources of the world, right? So initially, you're quite safe. You're safe to explore. You can chop down some trees, but later on, those trees will be heavily fought over, and there's actually room for large guilds to form and take control of large parts of the world.
Well, you get like cooler resources to go after the trees, right?
Exactly. So we can see here other players running around, by the way, who are crafting some stuff. And let me show you the world map where we can see what areas guilds have taken on and taken under control. So this is where we are. We're in Western Camp. We've landed in the southern part of Albion, and these name tags here represent zones that we could visit. And as we go deeper into the world, we'll start to see these places which have numbers, and they have logos from guilds on them. So if I click on here, I'll see that this territory is controlled by a guild called Kinetic Order. and they've claimed a part of Albion and used this to stage an attack on a city over here. And this is a fight that will happen later this evening. We can check when it will happen. So 2200 hours UTC is when these guilds will clash and fight over who gets to control the city. And this is all fought out right in the world with what you see here. One other aspect of Albion that's super important to mention is that what you can do is defined by what gear you have. So the armor that I've crafted provides me with this ability over here, which is Mend Wounds. So if I get wounded in battle, I can heal up afterwards and regain some of my health. If I had crafted a sword, I'd get attack abilities and this sort of stuff. And that's how you build your own character classes in Albion, and that's how you also build up your strategy. You can see a bunch of other players who've already progressed a little bit and built some equipment. So this guy here apparently is going the mage route, so he's put on some light armor and holy stuff apparently, so he's a healer. But this is completely up to him. You could have combined this with heavy armor to change his build and change the abilities you get from that, because the abilities are defined by the items and what spells you've decided to craft on top of the items.
Cool. So when do you guys, I know this is in like open-ish beta right now, right? Or what do you guys call the beta that's in now?
So this is what we call
right now, limited release or something like that?
Yeah. So we've been in closed beta since November, and anyone can buy their way into closed beta by acquiring one of our Founders Packs. There's various tiers of Founder Packs you can get. The game will remain pay to play even after launch, and it'll be available by buying one of our starter packs later on. So that starter pack will not contain the Founder's item, but it will contain the game access.
Okay.
But if you want to play Albion right now, it's possible to do that, and you can play it on Android already. The iOS version will be released once we launched, and then it'll be available on the App Store.
Cool. And any idea when the launch window is going to be yet, or is that still up in the air?
So the launch is planned for August or September this year. So let's say fall this year.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for showing me the touch version. This is really cool.